Okay, now I'm gonna kind of educate a little bit on how this stuff works in the Medicare and You book here. First, let me educate on a few terms in insurance that can be a little confusing. Deductible, just like on your auto or home, I tell people when I'm explaining what that is, you pay so much before your insurance pays. Car wreck, you pay the first $500 before they settle with you. Copay is always a flat amount. So you pay $5 or so much at the pharmacy and at the doctor's office. You know, $5 for a prescription. Most people understand that when you give the pharmacy example. Well, apply that to your doctor. You pay $5 at the doctor, or $0 in some cases, or a specialist $25 or $35, no more. The charge could be $100, $300, $400, whatever. You pay just a $25 flat copay at that specialist. Coinsurance is a percentage of the total. For example, with Medicare Original is a coinsurance plan. Medicare pays 80%, the member owes the 20%. So 20% you pay, your insurance pays 80%, okay? So when we get into this, and this is a good book to read over because there are people that read it, but when you explain this page, especially to someone on a Medigap that's never had an Advantage plan, explain to them these two, inpatient, B is your outpatient and doctors, they make up about 80% of your care. Your supplements come in to pick up the 20%. Your D has deductibles, and then after that you pay either a flat copay or a percentage. But you've got to add to what is already coming out of your Social Security check for B. Every month you pay $164. So, this could be $30, this could be $120. You still don't have dental coverage, so if you need dental, you got to pay for that one and add. Optical, you get paid for that one. So when you get an Advantage plan, what's nice is the Part C plan or the insurance plan, whichever company you go with, Aetna, United, Humana, receives funding from Medicare. It goes to the plan. Therefore, the plan with the money they get, they cover the A, the B, and the D, plus extra, dental, optical, hearing aids, fitness membership. It's funded differently. All these people, they pay according to that plan in that state, their age, whichever D they take out that covers their drugs. But this, they get the funding from the government. So because of that, a lot of these plans can be no monthly cost. You're choosing to use the plan here instead of your A and B, your Medicare, your traditional. So you put that red, white, and blue card back in your wallet. I tell them you won't be using it. You get a plastic card from the insurance company we set you up with today, whether it's Aetna, United, or Humana, and you show that everywhere you go, the doctor, the pharmacy, the dentist. And you pay a copay. When you explain those terms, it makes it a little easier. Now, some people are interested in supplements. So, Section 4 in this book is about Medicare Advantage. And I'm going to show you the difference in just a second. But Section 5 is about Medigap or supplements. And these are lettered also. As you go up the alphabet, you get more coverage typically. The G for great is kind of like the signature plan. It pays all of it pretty much after Medicare. Where there's a blank here, it means that the person has to pay an annual $226 before the plan kicks in. G, N. Okay, after that though, all bills paid, doctors, hospitals, except the D. The Part D is not included in this. Dental is not included in this, okay? So I always explain to them how a Medigap plan works if that's what they have. Now, when you go to Medicare Advantage, there's different types. The way I explain it is just like you got, buy a Honda or a Toyota, you got the compact car, SUV, pickup truck, minivan. HMO is kind of like the compact car. You're restricted. You got to stay within a network unless it's an emergency. And you can read what it is. You can read the term. PPO, you have more flexibility, but any out-of-network providers are a higher copay. And private fee-for-service, well, you can really go anywhere. You got a network like a PPO, but you pay the same cost share or copay even if the doctor is not in the network. But you always have to read a disclosure or explain to them that they must that doctor, in other words, it's not in network, must accept this plan's payment terms and conditions. And it's a visit by visit basis. So when you take the Humana books, you'd actually turn to the front. It defines what these are. So you can almost read them. I'm going to put them side by side here so you can kind of see. And it helps to know for compliance. So, we've got private fee for service. Okay. You don't need a referral. Providers must be approved to accept Medicare. Okay. It gives you the flexibility to see any provider as long as they accept the plan payment terms and conditions and they choose to treat you. Okay. With the HMO, plans have their own network of doctors, hospitals, and providers. You can receive care from any in-network provider. In general, your monthly premium's lower. Okay. You pick a network provider. On most plans, you need a referral. Now, most of Humana's, you don't have to have a referral, but you have to stay in the network. And then PPO plans give you the freedom to get care outside the network, okay, at a higher copay, but you have flexibility in network, out of network, okay? Now, when you go to the back of this, for example, you have a section on special needs plans. Well, special needs are strictly for subcategories like people that have a diagnosis. They don't have to have it major, just a diagnosis for heart, diabetes, respiratory. In Oklahoma, it's just heart and diabetes. I think it's similar in Arkansas. It shows you which companies offer special needs plans. Well, we don't do Blue Cross and Global right now. We do Humana. And then there's the D-SNP. D for dual, that means two. They have Medicare, Medicaid, and in your state, it'll show you which special needs plans. And it gives you the plan number. Again, there's the first segment, and there's the last segment. So you can look on their card and tell what they have, okay? And when you get into the Medicare Advantage plans, you can see, and then you get into the drug plans. Now, one thing I like to point out, when you're selling against a drug plan, or if you're selling over here and the person is set up here and they got traditional, they pay for a D, they pay for a supplement. They really like their supplement. They're not sure about a copay. I always pull out their drug plan. I say, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you have this Silver Script plan for $56.90. Did you know next year you're gonna have a $545 deductible that you have to meet first? Well, you don't have that in the Advantage plan, the Part C plan. Also, you do pay a flat copay on some meds, but there's also those that are a percentage, 16 to 36%. That can be high. If you got a $500 a month drug, 36% of it, boy, that adds up. You know, $90 to $120 every time you pick that up for 30 days. Well, my Part C Advantage plan, you just pay a flat $47 copay, no deductible. So you can really kind of compete against their drug plan first. Then when you go back, explain to them, you know, you can see that the drug plan here is a lot more competitive. Now, I understand you don't really want a copay, but you pay a whole lot more every month whether you use it or not. You know, $120 a month versus over here, you'd have no monthly cost. You'd pay as you go. You'd pay no copay at the doctor, maybe $25 at a specialist. I know you have a hospital copay that is $295 a day, days 1 to 5, so that can add up. But we have a plan that we can talk about for, you know, $25, $30 a month, which offsets that. And we'll help you with that hospital copay. Okay, so that's some food for thought.